Welcome back to the Artie Lange Show. My next guest, real funny comic. From New Orleans?
I am.
From New Orleans. Sean Patton is here. And I want to talk to him about a little comedy and stuff. So now, New Orleans, you grew up in New Orleans.
I mean, you would know that. You fathered me. Right? Do you see it? Do you
Absolutely.
See it?
I was about to say that. Look at that. We do look like each other. You're a better looking version.
Well, I said that to you at the cellar months back, and I was like, a lot of people have told me I look like you, and you went, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. All my life, man, before I even knew who you were, before I really even started doing comedy.
How old are you?
35 now.
I don't know how long, but how long? When did this start? When I was on Mad TV, then that long ago?
Possibly, yeah. I mean,
it's going to have to be that long ago, 35.
Yeah. But all my life, people.
Well, yeah, we all have something we have to overcome.
I'd rather that than I still get a lot of Jim Belushi.
Yeah, Jim Belushi, sure.
You know, or John. I mean, John Belushi to the people. That's why I keep the beard.
You do look more like John.
Thank you.
There's old pictures of John where you had the beard, and I mean that's not an insult. John was a charismatic.
Oh yeah.
John Belushi was a charismatic, good-looking guy. A lot of women found him sexy.
Yes. Yes, I've used that.
Now, do you do stand-up?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, you like stand-up.
I love it. But you'd never know that based on how little I like telling people I do comedy.
Why is that? Are you very insecure about it?
No, it's the one thing people just can't be like, oh, yeah, that's interesting. Well, here's what I do. It's always,
Right.
It's the constant, it's the advice. That's the part I love the most.
Oh, I know. Yeah, people feel they can give you advice.
No one's more of an expert on stand-up than people who've never done it in their entire life.
That is true. People feel
what do they try to tell you?
Like that, you got to do.
You know, you should try.
You got to have a skit. You got to do impressions. And I get it because everyone thinks they're funny, but it's like you wouldn't go up to an NBA player because you had a basketball
goal.
Over. Yeah, exactly. Like.
Well, you know what it is when you tell someone you're a stand-up comic, obviously they don't know who you are because you're telling them what you do.
Right.
So people feel if they don't immediately recognize you and you're a stand-up comic, you must not be good at it.
Exactly.
Because they figure, well, if you're good at it, I would know who you are.
Exactly.
And which is horribly not true nowadays.
No, there's so many. Everyone.
You make a good living at it, and people might not know who you are nationally.
That is true.
Now, what about comedic acting? Obviously, you do that, right?
I do as much as I can, but I go to LA a lot. I'm there most of the time, and then,
is that where you live?
Man, at this point, I'm just omnipotent, just a
really?
Nomad. Yeah,
no kidding.
I'm on the road. I don't have 2 apartments. I have 2 friends. That's how that is, and they have situations.
2 very good friends.
Right. And I mean, I try and act, but I mean, every role they try and send me out for is like the enlightened frat guy.
Or, there's a lot going on.
Right, like the fat stoner with a heart of gold.
Have you done that stuff?
Yeah, that's it. Exactly. You can kind of see it.
Well, it is a lot of. No, that's
there's so much.
You do get surprised when you get to Hollywood eventually, and you get a good agent that can get you out on stuff and auditions. It is surprising how unoriginal and uncreative Hollywood is. Like, it's always the same. Like, everything you'd think, every cliche you'd think they'd send me and you out on, they do. They do.
It's terrible when you realize, too, that right now, 85% of the Hollywood industry are just Jimmy Jacks with marketing degrees.
Yep.
They've never wanted to be creative.
And they're not fans of it.
Right.
That's the way, if an executive is a true fan of comedy, at least there's passion there, and you're like, if they're not, it's just a matter-of-fact thing to do. Yeah, like, I can market anything. I got a degree, I can market anything. So I can market you. It doesn't matter if you're a piece of plywood or a comedian.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, there is that small percentage of guys and girls out there who are passionate, like what they do, want to do something original.
Right.
But there's an ocean of people between you and them.
Right.
And it's just they wanted to remake the Man Show.
Yeah.
Like 2 years ago.
They've been trying to do that a lot, haven't they? I've heard about that a lot, where they want to do that, yeah.
But they called it the Bro Show. Yeah. And it's like, come on, you're immediately saying it's going to be worse.
Let's just make it hackier.
Yeah.
Well, the Man Show, Jimmy and Adam were 2 charismatic guys, and they were good on it. And then they went darker with Stanhope and Rogan.
Yeah.
Stanhope and Rogan show was
remember that?
Was a dark show. And then, and since then, like, I've gotten offered to do it. Like, and I thought hard about it. I got offered to do a pilot for the Man Show, actually, and I said no to it because it was done already. And Yeah, you're right. I hadn't gotten to the bro show yet, but that makes total sense to me.
They just want, no one out there cares about trying. No one wants to be, whenever something happens, whenever a show gets hot, like Steve was just on, the league, they're like, we need 7 more leagues.
Exactly.
How many more leagues can we have?
The league meets another hit show.
Right. The Office, they're like, how many spin-offs of that can we do?
The Office is big.
You know, when, I guarantee when Breaking Bad ended, they're like, how many more Breaking Bads? Who else can we?
More meth shows.
Yeah, how many more people? Lord of the Rings? Lord of the Rings. That's what I said. Game of Thrones is what I meant. When that ends,
well,
same
it's the
thing.
Same thing.
With politics and the F word.
It almost feels like the same thing. Yeah, Lord of the Rings. It happens within shows, like sketch shows. When we would do a sketch that was popular, they would do more sketches, more of that, more of that. Yeah, because people are lazy; they don't want to work.
And it's also like, it seems like you should always be like, okay, the league is killing it. What else?
Right.
Well, how can we have our thing but no one will ever, just repackage.
So now so that's where stand-up comes in. It's good to be able to do stand-up because you're in control of it. Yeah, like you write it, you produce it, you can do your own thing.
You shout it.
And you're happy with that? You happy with your stand-up career?
No, I love it. I mean, it's going well. I do travel a lot. I do have some dark months. Yeah. You know what I mean? Not while I'm doing it, but when I look back, I'm like, Jesus. Yeah. How did I get through that? Then I have some months where I'm like sober and that's always at the club where every show goes great. The owner's like, I'm bringing you back 3 times this year. Right. Every audience member's like, we all want to sleep with you. Collectively, people are like, we want to give you more money. All you got to do is drink with us. And that's like, no, guys, I'm on the way.
Yeah, they don't care.
Yeah,
but they don't care. I'll tell you what, partying on the road. Yeah, you can doing stand up. That is a brutal. And then if you get the hot chick with coke, the hot chick with pills, the hot chick with whatever booze you want to drink. Let's drink.
Sounds like you struggle with the booze like I do. I'm either like on the wagon. Completely, or historically, that's been my thing.
Or just full.
I just have to cut it out completely.
Well, when you were playing football, what was
not
it
when
like?
I was playing.
But after a game, would you go nuts?
Not usually.
No, on Sunday night you wouldn't blow it out.
A little, maybe a little. I was so paranoid about getting dehydrated. Never drugs because they tested us.
Oh,
but drinking wise, it dehydrates you, strips your muscles. So I had to work out and run the next morning anyway. I was always very conscious of that. But then once I got done playing, like, wait a second, now I can just.
So how did Lawrence Taylor get away with any of that? Was he always tested? Like,
I don't know. I knew guys who drank. I mean, I knew guys who drank the night before. In the hotel, they'd show up after dinner. Really? I just wouldn't do it.
Are you a Saints fan, Sean? Are you a Saints fan?
Do or die. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
All day.
What about the other sports? You like the other sports?
I mean, I've gotten into basketball recently. I didn't grow up with baseball. It's not
That's right. There's nothing in New Orleans.
Nothing in Louisiana,
It doesn't
really.
make any sense. You would think they'd have
a
New Orleans baseball.
Had a hockey team for a while, a minor league hockey team for a while, but no one cared. But yeah,
I got really into the Saints.
Loved